All right, sweet. Let's go. Okay. Um. So first of all, welcome everybody. We got actually 5 people here, so who knows who's in here. So first of all,
Hello.
good night, X. Good night, Arkz. How you guys doing today?
Hello.
So,
How's it going?
Cool. Not bad. Not bad. How was the day?
I
Uh,
mean, I worked a
game.
lot.
Wow, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Well, so today. Oh, I didn't post on our actual announcement on Discord, but whatever.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Um, so first of all, thanks for you guys for joining in. I think it's a really important step for us to put ourselves out there. So thanks, Arx, for being our guest for this week, and hopefully we can have more
Hmm.
of you coming in because you've been around pretty often in Titans, right? So you definitely have good input on most of the people that are playing there. So it's always good to have somebody like you with us here.
I know some of these people as I'm scrolling through the names.
I'm pretty sure you do, man. Pretty sure you do.
So many
Oh, I know some.
teams.
Wait, this person is okay. So I see some role swaps.
Yeah, there's a lot
Oh
Some
of role
other
yeah,
things.
swaps.
Yeah,
there's a lot of
yeah. This guy's an
interesting
ADC,
happening.
and this guy's also an ADC, but they're playing jungle.
Yeah, dude, I don't know how so many teams are doing role swaps. It's weird to me.
Well, it is what it is. But the good thing is, um, so the very first thing that I want to just talk really brief with everybody. There's also something that you asked me. I think it was the last time, Marks, and I don't, and I think I don't remember exactly what you asked, but it was definitely something that I mentioned I was going to talk about a bit more here.
Yeah,
Um,
go for it.
yeah, yeah. So the first thing I want to talk about is just give like a brief intro on Eclipsing Tides, right? Just to give a bit of a 5 minutes of time for everybody. Um, so X and I, we after we formed the original team that was in Titans in winter split, we kind
Hmm.
of decided to try to expand a little bit in terms of the team and the orgs, and we decided to create the newer versions of the teams and futurely the new team ET Solar, which is a team you're on, is going to be our new gold focus team, right? So that's the whole idea. And the biggest thing that we have is hopefully we can have a dedicated solar team, which is going to be you, Gideon, um, Goose, Estrelica, and Power Passive. And then obviously we try to get you guys some subs because it's important in every team.
Yeah, for me and Gideon get along just fine.
Yeah.
It's a,
And
it's a fun. It's been a
He
fun few games.
yeah, I mean
he's so
he's a
fun
good,
to play
yeah,
with.
he's a good person.
It's so fun.
And then after you guys, it would be our team ET that was in the Winter 23, right? So me, X, uh, Zond, Kyle, and we had to for Divinity we have to replace Zach for Dark. But I
Hmm.
still think we're a good solid team. And moving over, we got our Lunar team, which is our Plat team, right? Currently competing in Victory's um, rival series, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Are you doing just as bad as my team is?
I didn't want to go into that specifics, but now that you put them under the buzz, yes, they're not doing that hot. But we just actually had a game yesterday. I was subbing in for them. It wasn't as bad as it looks. The games were actually pretty even. But
Yeah.
obviously the teams there, they're really high skilled from what I was looking. Maybe not some people individually because our bot was playing pretty well, but I think as a team maybe they were able to do what they wanted, right? But yeah, and
Yeah.
actually just to give a shout out for the tryouts that we had this weekend, we actually just formed the full sub roster for them, and hopefully we're gonna keep these two rosters engaged. Fighting for that starting position.
Yeah.
It's gonna be nice. Um, Then the next thing that we have is we just try out and finish the tryouts. So the next week, we're gonna be releasing the names for the new Diamond and Master team that we're gonna have. This team's called ET Blood Moon. And keep in mind, all these names are the phases of the moon, going from solar, which if you see an eclipse, like a solar eclipse, you're gonna see it's you know closer
I'm
to a
glad you're
goal.
explaining
Yeah,
this.
I mean, I'm just
We
saying,
need the
right?
ET
Yeah.
lore out there.
Hey, I
Yeah,
need
tell us about it.
I need to put the name out there, okay? So again, solar for gold. Then we have us, which is we don't have any phase. We got lunar for the second phase, blood moon, right? And then the last one, actually the one that I'm more excited about. This is a different form of a, well, not really a different team, but the format where we found them is different. So basically, this is gonna work as a kind of as a sponsorship, right? So there's a full
Hmm.
team already made. They already played in collegiate and stuff. And Source Walker, I believe it's their manager who reached out, and we talked with him, and we're gonna sponsor them over the suburb. So basically, we're probably gonna put them on the next Aegis Diamond slash Master League, and this is like a yeah.
Nice.
So this is like a full roster. They have
Okay.
like 7 to 8 people already. They're gonna do everything on their own in terms of they said they don't need they, they're not looking for coaching specifically, so they're gonna manage themselves. They're just gonna represent us,
Hmm.
so we're just gonna put them into the league and support them with anything that they need. So it's a different approach, and these teams gonna be called ET Penumbro, which is the last name that I could find related to eclipses because it's almost over. So yeah,
I still want to do ET New Moon.
I mean, we could change New Moon. I didn't know it was like. I mean, it's nice. I think we can change. And
I'm
the
waiting for Cam to make a team called ET Crescent Moon, but accidentally call it Croissant.
maybe.
No. We'll go through our typo team.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm really excited for this. So we're gonna be playing a lot more in Titans, Ages, BOL, all that kind of stuff. So hopefully you guys gonna see a lot about us there, at least Eclipsing Tides. So that's good stuff. So I want to give you X. You want to give us like a summary of what your perception, and maybe you too, Arkz, about how this Winter 23 Divinity League went.
Mm, Our first split in winter, we came in hot. We lost to GSG and we were underdogs for pretty much a whole split. And I didn't play that great, but I had a lot on my plate. I was moving in the middle of that. I was working at least 30 hours a week. So I didn't really even get to practice more than our weekly scrims. And then, we still made it to finals, even though we had, like no practice during all of finals and playoffs because we had Kam out for a week. We had our starting jungle out the week after. And then that week, right before finals, we also had to have our ADC sub in for Lunar because their ADC ranked out of the league. So we did all the playoffs without practice, and we almost won it all. So I think it was a pretty successful split overall.
Nice.
Um,
What are
my
thoughts, Arkz? Give me your
my
thoughts.
perception. Oh yeah. Um, first 2 weeks were great. Got to play. Uh,
Yeah.
didn't gel with the team very well.
We picked up Arkz in the middle of the split. He got kicked from his team.
I
I
removed
mean,
myself actually.
Okay. You got out of there before they terminated you. That's usually
Yeah,
better.
I got out before they terminated me. It was just like disagreement. Didn't gel
I
with
mean,
how they wanted to play with how I wanted
it's
to
all
play.
good.
But
I think it was pretty good. You get to play.
rode the bench.
You did
Zach didn't want to.
you did play a
Huh?
game, didn't you? The best series?
No,
No.
no.
He helped us with a
Zach,
Oh
practice.
yes,
That
I
was
helped
about
you
him
came
it.
in
for
on
him.
Yes. Right. Because I remember we played together a few times, but I didn't remember if it was on the game or the
Yeah, I
scrims.
know solo game, my guy.
Now,
You
hey,
can't tell
What?
the difference between comp and solo queue.
no
X
worries, no
plays like
worries.
every other top laner. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
basically.
All
He's
right,
the
all
ones
Solo
that
via
gap my top
9
laner.
islands.
right. So I want to open the what's called spring split with actually talking a little bit about the returning teams. So give me 1 second. Hopefully this is gonna work well. Again, I'm
Bro, I don't
sorry.
even know what the team names were.
All of these podcasting was really low budget. So if something doesn't work, please be patient. All right. So can you see this on the screen?
Yeah, I can see on the stream.
Nice, nice, nice,
Yeah, I can see it.
nice.
I have it on my phone because I'm also looking at my DoorDash order as it's getting to
Nice.
my house in the next 5 minutes.
Oh.
Uh,
All right.
Well,
So
you can buy time.
yeah. You want to start
You
X
could-
with your perception
Dude,
on TPOG?
I don't feel hot about this team.
oh,
They
okay, so
weren't able to do much of anything last split. I mean, they've changed 3 players, and they didn't even change the parts I would have liked to see get changed. I feel like their bot has kind of just like existed, and I like TLP as a top laner. I think he has a lot of potential, and switching out the top, I don't know if it will be necessarily best for them. Their top does have, you know, some stuff that I wrote down here. He plays like Set, Riven, and Mord, which are some lane dominant stuff they could try to play through, but I don't really see the point in playing through top if, you know, your ADC won't be able to pick up the slack if you misplays.
Yeah, definitely a lot of changes. My biggest takeaway on this team is um they kept the I believe IQ of Coconut was a sub for last split, so he came in to complete the bot lane. So you definitely could have a different views. But again, I don't think we played him specifically, and our games against them were I didn't want to say pretty easy, but it wasn't like it wasn't much of a challenge compared to other teams that we played.
mhm.
So it's really unknown
Yeah,
what they can do together. I would definitely have to wait to see a couple games to give like a critical view. But I just want to throw out there because I did listen to TLP yesterday talking about it. He did say these bot lane kind of went undefeated in what a competition that they played. I think was Aegis, maybe it was last year or something. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt playing together.
I'll
But
have to
again,
see it.
it's unknown, right? You have to see exactly.
The only thing I'm confused, concerned about this roster, Popstar's a fun person to talk to. She's one of my favorite people with CB, but Downfall, I know him as a top laner and an ADC. He mains ADC, so it threw me off to see him at jungle for sure. But I want to see how he does. But I don't think they're going to win more than half their games unless Downfall like pops off
I feel like
from
if
week
top
1.
jungle doesn't pop off, they won't be able to win games.
But
Yeah,
I do think they'll at least win a game. They'll definitely do better than last split.
I'll
Yeah,
definitely
they just have
touch
to win 3 games.
I'll definitely touch that when we go into the actual part of like the groups, the format and stuff. Because I think they do have a chance. I don't want to. I'm not. They're not gonna say that they're gonna go 0-7 or 0 everything. I do think they have a chance, but it's just like I said, you gotta wait and see how things play out.
Okay.
Now the next thing though, I am more excited about them, which is the Eden's
Ma-
theme. Oh, it didn't
yes.
work! My God, it failed.
Major.
All right, give me a
Hey, while you're
second.
Yeah.
fixing that,
Let me
no, I'm
fix
just
it.
kidding. Of course, my
Mhm.
delivery driver
I guess I'll
hasn't
talk
pulled in
about
yet.
Eden's.
Ah, yes,
Dude,
it's
Eden
Eden's.
Snapdragons are one of my favorite teams, just personality wise.
I think
I'll try to fix it, but we're gonna talk about Eden's. Let me just
I
fix it.
think they got lucky a bit. I think their mid is really good. The rest of their team's alright. I think if they have more members are able to step up and be on Eden's Majors level, they could be really strong. But I think one of the biggest benefits they had last split is people didn't really know what they wanted to play. So people are letting Zeri mid go through, Seraphine mid, and they would just win the game off of that. And teams didn't really adapt to it that well, even after they had information. So maybe this split, people will actually be able to know what they're going to prioritize. It'll be harder for them to get wins. So I'm expecting middle of the pack unless their team really steps up.
Okay.
I think they're gonna
Let's see.
make playoffs. I mean, like,
Let me know if you guys
unless
can see.
they.
Oh, it is
But you
fine.
want us to see if people can see?
Zach, is it? Oh, okay. So he said it's okay. So maybe you guys are low. Let me just put it a bit higher.
Yeah, turn us up. I'm gonna run downstairs, grab my Taco Bell.
I
Before just going off my porch.
Alright.
So Cam can give us input on Snapdragons.
Can you see my new screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not exactly centered, but it's there.
It's fine. It is what it's gonna be. At least for now.
Yeah.
Shit. I fucked them up here. Anyway, okay, so I actually that's so one of the reasons why I'm kind of excited for these guys. So I don't remember which week we played them. I think was
It
week
was like
3
second
or
or third week.
Yeah. So I don't know how old they were in terms of team, but yes, when we played them, they were very rough overall. Although I think their bot and their AD carry and their mid laners like the best players on their team. But I feel like when Major was transitioning, because he's a main AD carry, transition to mid, it felt like he was still learning about the matchups. Um, but I do think now coming like after playing rough like 9 weeks because they went to semifinals, I think they're a much better team coming to this split.
Yeah.
And I think they will actually be like contenders for like higher spots. I'm expecting them to be a minimum of, well, I put a quarterfinalist before I knew exactly, before like Sam's release the end format, but I'm thinking they're probably a more of a semi-finalist contenders at this point.
He's so pumped about his Taco Bell.
And I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna have all eyes on Major and Sad Lantern because they were all stars last split for first and second team. So I think they're gonna come up pretty strong this split. And I'm sorry for any fans of EDNS, any members of EDNS, if they are out there.
I think they're definitely gonna make playoffs.
No, for sure.
I just don't know how far they're gonna go.
Yeah, because I placed them here in third or fourth place because I didn't know exactly what kind of plays they would get. They did end exactly even with TAC in terms of like the semifinals were exactly the same, result. So I'm putting them at either third or fourth place. But so, just saying, you guys will make it. All right. So hopefully this is gonna work. If I press down, yes, nice. All right, off the
Oh
za.
my god, you're so pumped about this.
So
I want to know who's more pumped about the slide or the Taco Bell.
I mean, you tell me.
What are you getting hyped about, X?
I was talking about Cam being hype about the slide working.
Yo.
Yeah, I'm hyped about Taco Bell. Cam's hyped
I'm
about
not
the
having
slides
Taco
working.
Bell right now. I already ate.
I'm okay. Cool. I'm bumping up my audio then. So I think this team is almost as strong as ADNS, but not at like
I feel like
as strong.
Optiza is like more vanilla, and then like Eden's is your wild cherry.
Who is a wild cherry?
I'm saying Eden's is harder to predict. They have
Yeah, for
more
sure.
like wacky picks. Optiza is well rounded. Kind of just plays meta.
Yeah, I agree. The only thing because I think like they will play for. I want to say they probably will play more for Kobe because I think he's more of a carry type player. Especially with his pick, I believe like Mordekaiser and Sed is one of his top picks. Um, that we at least we played against him.
Yeah,
Bali's
he
pretty
looks
standard.
smart.
Oh yeah, Bali is the isn't he the? I think he's the guy that played the Corki, right? Or was the other one? He does play like scaling
Um,
mids, I
I
think.
know PF likes Corky.
Oh yeah,
I
he's
don't
yeah.
really
Wrong team.
remember often of that well because we played last match right before playoffs.
Yeah, but I remember
I
they're
think
almost they're similar to us, like scaling mid and things like that.
Mm,
I think I played them. I think. I think
What's your comments on
I
the team,
Yeah,
Arkz?
what are your feelings?
Um, I think Kobe did really well. I believe CB Rangers played them like week 1. I think, but I can't remember. But no, they did pretty well. I think they're going to be like on that line still. Um, if they don't show any improvement, I don't expect them to make playoffs. But I guess it just really comes down to how well Kobe carries the team
Well,
and
I
supporting he gets from.
so again the playoff thing kind of changed, so I was gonna put them as the first round of playoff. So yeah, I kind of agree with Arcs. I think I don't think they're gonna struggle, but they're gonna be like mid pack. So they're gonna be fighting for the last few spots to mid
I
pack.
don't see how they move up aside from just being a better team.
I mean,
Like,
they're pretty much the same team, so there's definitely gonna have
yeah,
improvement. So that's why I expect them to do a lot better. It's just a matter of how much better they're gonna become, right? Now this is a third returning team, and I think us is the next. Yes, us.
Oh, great! I get to talk more.
Yeah, so it's gonna be. I don't want to say it's gonna be a bit biased because I'm gonna try to be.
you're gonna be so biased, Cam.
Hey! I'm gonna try to
Bro,
be realistic, right?
this is the
PLP
team
works.
that made finals with a sub mid laner better than the starting mid laner.
We also
Whoa.
played sub jungle.
Shots fired for no reason. So I think again we kind of talked a little bit before like our team itself, but I do have high expectations on our team. Uh, yes, we could definitely have won that. I think like our first game was so atrocious in that last team fight that we just lost out of nowhere, and then they just won the game, and we were like,
Yeah,
well,
they were
we were
pushing right
winning.
near inhib tower,
Yeah,
and I think Zach died.
I died. It was like the Jarvan ult from Kyle that blocked like everybody. Olaf didn't die.
Yeah, it was a tragic fight. I didn't expect to lose right there.
Yeah, it was, and we were ahead. We were like at least a few K ahead. But anyway, it's life.
Yeah, unfortunate game one.
But I think like we had a couple scrims with Dark. I think we still have a pretty strong bot lane. I do
Does he
feel what?
sorry. Does he
I
communicate as
mean,
well
I
as he
like
did
our
for the
roster a
tryouts?
lot. I played a lot with Dark. I don't think he can like 1v9 like Zach can,
Yeah,
or
and that's what I was gonna
but
add.
he brings better like overall team strength compared to Zach. He's able to help with group discussions. He can make useful calls and map rotations as needed. So I think we'll be stronger, but in a different way,
Yeah,
and
and
weaker in some areas too.
I do think that you and I we're gonna need to step up. Um, in terms of I don't want to say like carrying the game, but more like not saying you're not consistent or anything like that, but I think a lot of the wins that we got were definitely because Zach did play pretty well. He was mechanically better than almost everybody, to not like say everybody in the league was on. And I think like not saying Dark won't be as good, but from the perspective of someone that doesn't know Dark, I feel like we're probably gonna need to step up, and even Kyle step up to be on the place where okay, we can get a lead, and then we can transition a lead to bot and like play the similar way that we did, front to back, and actually, still get that win. So I'm really excited to see how we're gonna do when the time comes. But I still think we're a strong team, and I still think we are a finalist contenders. I was gonna put semi-finalists, but I want to boost us a little bit because I think we can actually make to finals.
Because he
So
wasn't gonna be biased, guys.
yes.
Um, I think personally that
Tell me,
you guys
Arkz.
aren't going to
Tell
lose
me my face.
much. Yeah, you guys aren't going to lose much in terms of communication in game. I think Dark is very strong when it comes to talking. I think once he gets gelled in with you guys, that it's not going to be much different than when Zach was there, outside of like performance based. So I think you guys have a very strong shot of making it far in playoffs. But it really comes down to like how well you guys can adapt to how Dark plays versus how Zach played.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed. All right. So I'm gonna jump us to the next. I think there's one more returning team. Oh no, new team. Now it's new teams. We're actually the last one. So this actually acts. This is your boy,
Yeah,
Hate Dogs.
this is my boy.
Tell
We
me.
got Days. So I played with Days like a good 3 or 4 years ago. I was starting top, he was starting mid for a bit. I like him. I know he played top lane for a while after that. I'm not sure how he's going to be performing in jungle, but he's been playing a lot of carry stuff, and I know he is competent on carry champs, so I'm looking forward to seeing how they perform.
Yeah, and actually, there's one thing that I do want to talk about Days because I was kind of. Oh, my screen froze. Lovely. Oh, it's back. Because he is listed as one of the what's called one of the washup players, right? So there's three people that are washup players right now. So I'm thinking that people might look them or might look at these people as like the top players, probably. And Days is one of them, and because he's been in that, you know, high like high plat ceiling or at least peak. So I'm pretty sure people are going to be looking at him and be like, okay, they're going to like probably target him at least initially. And outside these, oh, actually, uh, I'm going to say something else, but first I want to comment on Cryo Caesar. He did try out for our ET Solar team. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
he can't sub in because he's already playing for this team in Titans, but he was gonna stick around, integrate a team to play in Aegis Goat in summer. But he had to drop because he said he's gonna have like a different working schedule, so it's not gonna work. But he's still welcome in the in the server and everything. And if he wants to try again, feel free to come in. I really liked, and honestly, he will. He was a strong from the tryouts. He was a really strong mid laner from my perspective, with very interesting picks to say the least.
Indeed, I agree.
Good. I saw Top play Heimerdinger on his match history. I want to see it at least one game.
and I
If you play
It's not
Heimerdinger
against
and
me.
Knight, then you don't play it.
and
Like,
one thing I want to say, it's not like please don't think as a flame war as anything bad or anything like that. It's not. But I did play with Tiggsy like a couple days ago, out of nowhere in solo queue.
What?
And I had to double check because the name was I kind of reminded me because I just did this while I was playing. And I was playing Zed mid, he was playing Ivern.
I knew he had wacky shit in there.
I think it was it was good because we also had a Ranger. I think it was good overall. We didn't make
Are you
it
saying
work.
Ivern Top's the new Karma Top?
I have no idea. I don't play that champion, so I have no idea. I know he's strong as hell with the ult, but
Dude, that ult's so annoying.
like I think there is potential there to like cause ruckus in the league. So I'm actually excited to see how if he brings it up to competitive, how well he can bring and how the team plays around it. But it's pretty nice, pretty interesting pick to say the least. All right,
I
so
unfortunately don't know anybody from this team outside of the mid laner for a couple games.
yeah, it's really a no expectations because we don't know much. But
I think the mid laner is going to be top 12. Actually, how many teams are there? 20?
20, yeah,
I
There's
think he's top
20,
10.
bro.
I think he'll be top 10. I thought
yeah,
I was thinking 24. Like, I think he's like top 50% of the mid laners. He's very strong based off the few games I saw him on.
yeah. I'm pretty sure this team is gonna fight for playoff contention, at least from you know from what X talking about days, from what we saw from Cryo, and it also is going to depend on how their bot lane will play. But I think they could potentially get playoffs, no doubt.
Yeah.
All right, so things are going to get more and more interesting. That's the next team is CB Preaches, and for some reason, I believe this team's going to play for top.
Dude, of course. Have you seen his
I
pool? His
Well,
games are on Akali, Riven, Jace,
I was going to say because of
and
the
then
pool. I was going to say because of the names.
they he has a couple games
keep
on
that.
Oran Gragas, so you can at least like blind on blue side, but I expect him to try playing through top.
Hey, that top laner is my boy.
Peachy Simp and just Peachy, that kind of tells me they're a duo, so they're definitely gonna play or
Oh,
top
for
side.
sure. The top laner, he actually plays every single role. I've known him for like I've played solo queue with him, like duo at different roles. So he's been pretty strong. He's been pretty reliable for almost any team I've seen him play on. So I don't know how he is top lane though, because he hasn't played that with me. But I mean, based off his champion pool and based off what I'm looking at on this jungler who hasn't played ranked before this season,
Yeah,
um,
their jungle basically plays F1. I'm
yeah,
really curious as to what's going to happen. And their
I
ADC looks like they're new.
so yeah, so that's another thing I was gonna say. Like their ADC and mid laner, um, their mid laner's actually more of a jungle player than a mid laner. And then yeah, the ADC looks somewhat new. And then it looks like they're gonna put a lot of trust into the support. And then but no, I'm really curious about this jungler.
Yeah,
Uh
from what I
I'm actually
Like
saw,
generally
the
surprised
jungle will
they
make or
were
break this team.
yeah, I'm actually generally surprised this jungler was allowed. Like based off like a lot of well, no, because a lot of leagues don't allow players who don't have any games from the year before.
I mean, we no. So I talked. I think it was Lonely, the one that was reviewing the sub adding requests and stuff like that, the roster change requests, and it's kind of similar to the sub 80 carry sword that we're trying to add into Titans. He hasn't really
Yeah.
played much last season, so he's trying to get his games up. So he said like he's gonna have to reach to a level before like I think like some of the weeks. I don't remember exactly what he said. So he might be on doing the same thing. He might be like need to complete a certain number of games before like you know week whatever, and then he can do. But obviously like sort of he wasn't able to be added. But he if he once he completes those games, then he's gonna be like eligible for the league. But I was gonna say that the support, I think it's it's a really powerful role in the game, and depending on how they utilize it, I think like if he's really you know excelling right, then he has the potential to just play with the jungle to make like accelerate the game for the rest of the team and just put the 80 carry on a probably like a weak side, especially coming into this patch that Ezreal just got buffed. So he's
Yeah, you're
even
telling me that?
yeah. So he is like as real when he gets buffed. You know, he's just like sits there, farm from whatever, and the support can do whatever he wants in the map, right? So if that's the
I
approach they're
think
taking the game, it's interesting, and you just see how well they can execute it.
since this is gold elo, I think supports who know their back timers and can help rotate around the map generally tend to help their teams really excel and do a lot better than what they look like on paper.
True. All right, so let's go. The next team is one of the two Conduit Esports team, Conduit's Coalition. And
Yeah, it's the fun team.
there are some no names here, at least that I recognize, like the Glada and Brother. I mistyped. It's Hedge with a
What?
J.
You haven't seen Brother Hedge?
I mean, it's not like I
You
talk
don't
with
think
him, but
Edge?
I've seen him around.
Yeah, I've seen him
Uh,
around.
yeah, like pinging, like on chat and stuff like that. But it's not like I know how he plays. I have never really paid attention.
Edge is
I
a
don't
good
think I played
ADC.
against him. That's why. Skywig, I think it's I I think it's a familiar name, but I don't know exactly. So from my perspective, I it's too unknown for me. I think it's more of a mid pack team, but obviously they can prove me wrong, and it's completely fine. I think that's what they're gonna do. I think they're gonna put challenge in some places, probably fall off here or there. So mid pack ish.
Are
I
you gonna?
mean,
You should look forward to beating this team. You know who runs it?
Oh yeah, yeah,
who?
yeah. Old man genetics.
Oh
Genetic.
yeah.
I talked to him like right after we lost. He said me
He's
they
such
made
a chill guy.
yeah he made a well not he but CB made a video of the final like the best plays and stuff. So he sent it to me. I was like sad, but it was nice.
Dude, I did not think of this as a mid-centric team. When I was looking at it, I noticed their top almost exclusively plays Juggernauts. He has over 20 games on Darius Mord Volley, and then he has a couple games on Mundo Alawi
Ooh,
set.
Mundo
So
players.
I'm expecting him to pick these things that are inherently lane dominant. You know, go up in CS without resources, and then see them play through like mid bot. But I think they'll probably put a bit more focus on like bot because the champs the Brother Hedge plays are like Jinx, Trist, Xayah, Kate, and all those things can do a lot with extra gold put into them,
Wow, they sound like meta champs.
and they're meta champs.
Yeah, I mean,
So
again, I don't know them exactly. I've seen the names, but again, obviously, I'm pretty sure they're gonna. I'm pretty sure like every team, actually minus one that we're gonna talk later, but everyone I think is probably gonna play higher than the expectation just because there's so many teams, there's so many eyes. I think Sam said this is like the biggest league that they made in Titans so far, like with 20 teams. So I think people will look into this with different eyes. So tell me, Arks, what are you thinking about this team?
This team right here, I'm gonna say right now they get ninth place.
Oh, so specific.
wow, that's pretty high when there's 20 teams.
Ow, I am sticking to it.
Save some good positions for everyone else.
Uh,
I definitely don't have finishes, but like I
um,
I know Dr. Shrouds and Hedge are reliable, and Hedge is pretty good. Shrouds is pretty like reliable and competitive stuff. Um, I haven't had any experience with Risky, Glotta, or Squig that I can remember off the top of my head. So, but anytime I see that this person plays Milio, and I immediately want to cry. So I also play like basically a one-tricking Zillion in ranked. So
yeah, I
that's
saw
why
that.
my guess
That
plays
makes me
Zillion.
concerned. I don't know how many good supports there are that mean Zillion.
I
Dude,
mean,
good Zillion players are cracked.
yeah, like
Yeah, but usually only at Zillion.
I mean, but those weird things, that's what it makes so powerful, right? Those, because I remember like when you get a Zillion, then Jin, Hecarim, these become monster champions. Especially the Jin. Hecarim is kind of known, but he's already strong. But Jin is like a menace with that champion just running at you out of nowhere, fourth shotting you and destroying your life.
Mhm.
The fucking gym move speed was silly and has to be silly.
Exactly. And don't forget that he's old and like late games like 20-30 seconds. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah, his ult CD is way too low late game.
I'm actually going to make this team 12th place because I just saw the other one, and yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah.
You looked at the
Yeah, a
next
lot
team.
higher than this one.
So I'm gonna go to the next one, which is also Conduit Esports Fever. Now this team, I think this team has potential. Um, I was listening in yesterday, the draw show, Adam and TLP talking. I believe Adam does believe this team has potential to be like a contender for title. I'm gonna put them on. Um, I was gonna say this was before the change, the official change in the format. So it was gonna be first round to quarterfinals. Now I'm thinking they're gonna be more of a quarterfinalist for sure. They do have known people like Stubby, Chinese Spy, Kiora, and Ipsy. I believe Chinese Spy and Ipsy were in the last conduit. I think was I forgot what's what Kraken or something. They were in a conduit team last split. Um, they added
Shore was part
Stubby.
of Crab Wranglers. And
Chinese.
Yipsy was part of Kraken as support.
Yeah, and
So Kraken's roster from last split had Chinese Spy top, Brotherhood Jungle, Merciful Crow mid, Galata ADC, and Yipsy support. So there's been some shuffling around on this roster.
don't
Chinese Spy's
forget,
back in his better role.
yeah, don't forget the Batman joined this team, and we know him pretty well. He played a few games for us. I don't know about Newt, but
I mean, I have no clue about Newt's strength, but I think Batman's really solid.
yeah, exactly. I think he's pretty
I
solid,
love Batman.
and I think he can definitely add a lot, especially if they have like a strong carry, like a clear strong carry. I think he's gonna make this team like shine even more.
I'm looking forward to Stubby being on a different team. I think if he does proper scouting, he can pick decent blind champs, and he has a big enough pool and is strong enough on a myriad of champs to be able to punish most things if he gets a counter pick.
Isn't he the one that played the cannon against us or something?
Yeah, he
he,
played Kennen
he
when I
destroyed
was
us.
like playing my newborn, and we got dumpstered,
He
and
destroyed us like so many times.
it was a rough game. And then I think we also faced Tack in invitationals, and when I was playing Aurelia, he picked Poppy, and I was useless the entire game.
Yeah, I think they're gonna come up with I don't remember Chinese Spy. I think he
I
was.
He is
let's
one of the top. I think he's top 3 mid laner.
I mean, he played top last
Yeah,
split,
He,
and I didn't
he
face him really.
I think he every time I've seen him play mid lane in the recent gold leagues in the past year and a half, he's been at the top. So
yeah. I
I
do
do
think these
expect him
guys
to
are
be
gonna
top
be
3.
solid team, and they all like average high gold in like all 5 lanes. So I think they're gonna be like a you know, a pretty good team to face on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think now we're getting to the actual teams like that we're probably gonna see in finals and stuff like that. Fever is definitely a team
I
that can
literally
do
know
even
nothing
more.
about Dorado's roster, and I looked at all of their pool, and I honestly don't have anything notable to say.
Yeah, Dorados. So I was listening to yesterday's comments from Adam and TLP. TLP did say that I believe this team is like the original roster that played Titans. I think last fall. I don't remember how they did it in the end, but they took like a break for winter and then coming in. They are supposed to be also like a strong team, like a playoff kind of team. So we'll see how we face them from this roster. I think only CZI we have met before, but again, as a new team, we haven't played them. At least personally, I don't know these guys. So for me, it's like an unknown expectation to where they're gonna sit in the whole spectrum of the teams. But they are they are averaging mid gold with the exception of their top and mid. They are like a P4 players, so they I think they're tending to be good and probably above average, above mid level in the league. What are your thoughts, X and Arcs?
I mean, I
Um,
think CCI is like alright. I don't know if other players, and even after doing scouting, I didn't really see a path for them to play as a team. But they probably know what they're doing. They've played in comp before.
um, I'm gonna say solely because this mid laner's name is Reboot Van, and it's definitely a Fortnite reference. Um, I'm gonna place them in 15th.
You don't like
You already
Fortnite?
put someone 15th, didn't you?
Huh?
Didn't you already put someone in 5th place?
I said 15th.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm joking. I was joking.
Oh my god.
No, I think the mid laner is solid. Based on ADAs. I mean, not the mid laner with the ADC. But they do duo queue a lot, so I do expect them to have more synergy than probably most of the bot lanes in the league because it looks like they do play a lot together.
yeah, that puts them
So
on a good spot because having like a bot lane that plays together for a long time, like we had with Zakazon, it's I think it's critical to have like success in the bot lane. All right, so moving on, we got the Dynasty Obsidian. Now,
this team is a top 2 team, if I'm
yeah, I
predicting.
I think this team is I put them as semi finalist caliber, but I think they are finalists and title like contenders or calibers, to play for title. Um TLP I think TLP or was Adam, I forgot who said this, but they said this team is in the finals of ages. So pretty strong team, and we know some of these guys. I did misspell outrage. It's outrage here, not outrage. Outrage in top, split grid in jungle, Svar mid, a wash up player, Revered
Wow.
7 RUX. Um,
Don't do Ivar like that.
I don't know, man. I guess it. No, no, no. I'm not. I didn't say it's a wash up as a bad thing. More of like he is the wash up, so people are gonna be looking at him. Maybe not only him because we have like known people here. Um, and also just reminding these half of these guys or 60% of them, they were in the old uh Dorado Gaming Lambda from last split that were dominating
Yeah.
Group A until the Caden incident. So I think this is gonna be a very strong team again, and they're gonna come in and pretty hot for this league.
I mean, they better do something big because it's not looking hot.
Well, they just added Barack onto the
Yeah, I was
roster.
gonna say that, and I
Well,
just
They
forgot.
added Barack.
Yes, Barack is
I
being
yeah.
added
mean,
as a mid sub. Well, probably
he's
mid sub.
alright.
So I do think they have like high expectations for them, but again, it's gonna be how they play, right? But again, I don't know. I just feel like they're doing okay. Wait, who's Charles? Oh, it's yours, Charles.
Me.
That's why
What?
Me.
I'm thinking like, who is this guy that's clicking on my presentation and highlighting shit?
Oh,
Like,
you just see me highlight it?
well, I can't see on the stream because I can see the purple
Sure.
thing around.
Oh,
This is just ruining everything.
It's already bad. Don't make it worse.
bro, I didn't even know it was highlighting it.
Nah, I'm just kidding you.
It's the ghost of highlighters past, guys.
Oh
Oh,
god.
dude, I really expect to see him. Poppy Chulo, Ivar, Eddie, I think are all very good players, but I think they have
True.
really high expectations. So anything outside of like top 3 in the league probably is a disappointment for their team.
Yeah, they're stacked even on their sub team, which is good. I think you're gonna put up a lot of competition within them and also outside.
I think Ivory's good.
Actually,
I've been impressed with him every time I've seen him play.
oh yeah, the other thing I want to say. Oh yeah, so wait, is it him or is it Gut? Oh no, it's Gut. Guster is the other one that I want to talk about, but I'll wait until we get there.
Yeah.
So after Dynasty, we got you guys. Solar.
Um,
Alright, lead it off, Arkz. What you gotta say?
Yeah, let's start with Arkz. Tell us,
what
tell
do I
us.
gotta say? I mean, this team's very new. I I know that I've only been able to play Gideon and Goose, and literally, I think both scrims so far, like the first initial tryouts, and all of the tryouts that we just had for this roster, we literally all played together. So like coincidentally enough, me, Gideon, and Goose have played a couple series together, but that but as like the full roster here, we won't even play our first game together till tomorrow night. So I think our first couple weeks might be slightly rougher than, as expected, but I think the team is pretty solid. I think as long as we improve, I think we can slide in the playoffs or, maybe surprise everybody.
So I will start off with I think yes, I do think I don't think it's a bad team. Actually, I think there's a potential to be very a strong team to show up and because you guys are gonna come as underdogs, and I think you guys will have a chance to do what we did last split in terms of, surprising people, and especially I think with the addition of Empower, I was really impressive when I watched him play. Um, the I think Gideon has some really good what's called pocket picks that can really throw a game off in a really chaotic, in a very chaotic manner, and I think it
Hmm.
could be really a positive thing. Again, I think unfortunately we didn't have a chance to test out Strelica, so but Genya, the manager for you guys for Solar, he was highly, he spoke highly of her. So I think combining her with you, I think there's potential to be like a good and
We are
stable bot
currently
lane.
0-4 in ranked.
Again,
But we
keyword
didn't lose lane.
potential.
We haven't lost lane in any of them. So
The keyword
uh
potential.
yeah, no, we do get along very well though. Off the 4 games, like we kind of just joked around and just enjoyed it. So
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
So
I
I
think Gideon is gonna be top 5 top laners. I
yeah
like he
So,
outputs so much
all
damage.
of last split, whenever I wanted to practice a matchup, I would face Gideon. We've been friendly, we've known each other since like the start of Eclipsing Tides. It's just we didn't have the space to have him involved with our team before. So after like doing all of like winter split, I was like, I think Gideon like has potential to be at least like top 5 or top 6 because out of all the tops I faced, the only ones who gave me challenges really was like Stubby, and everyone else was like I could play what I wanted. If I actually played it, I don't actually like tanks. So if I picked comfort, I could just free farm into most of the tops. But if I get counterpicked by Gideon or Stubby, it's like painful.
Gideon is cracked and like
He's really good at punishing mistakes.
He is. I actually am looking forward to seeing how you guys play like without Zach, because you guys played so like bot focused for the most part that like you guys have a little bit more open freedom because you guys aren't set in stone. I don't think you guys are set in stone yet. So on
Yeah.
what you guys are gonna do. So I'm looking forward to.
I haven't seen anything from the jungle yet. It's a new edition, and I didn't get
Yeah,
to watch like any of the
I
scrims or anything. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how our second team does in Titans.
yeah, I was pretty impressive. Like he was pretty neat with his stuff. So that's what I'll say. And I'll let you watch because we're gonna play them on tomorrow in our in houses.
Yeah, we have our own in houses. I'm not sure if we'll have casters for that, but we can at least stream like player perspective on some of
Yeah.
the games.
We can talk about that after. I have an idea for that.
Sounds
All
good.
right.
But yeah, I do think you guys have potential to actually be a playoff team. And actually, this is gonna be my expectation on you guys. I do hope you guys get it, and I think it's gonna be nice.
Keep this bias shit away.
The biased
it's
ET finals.
So this thing, so in this turn, so think about this expectation not as like think you guys are better than 8 of these teams, but more of I want you guys to be. I want you guys to be at least playoff team. You know.
I'm not mad at you. I'm disappointed. He's saying.
So real quick on Titan, real quick. I am like
Yes.
looking through their doc. What is the group stage? Because wasn't last splits just one like 7 week?
Well, yes. So it changed.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bit different. I think it's going to be blind.
Well, so
like round robin for all the groups, and then they'll go from there. I think.
yeah. So here's okay. So I'll just talk a little bit because I talked a little bit with Sam's about it, and I was reading through the explanation. So it's gonna be divided in 3 phases, right? So phase one is the first group that we got. So we have like 5 groups together, 5 groups of 4, and every team is gonna play a round like a round robin within that group. So it's gonna be like a 3 week games or so 3 games in that group. Then we're gonna go to phase two, which is group stage two. Basically, it's a new group that's gonna be predefined based on your position from the last group. So, for example, uh, group A position one is gonna be with position two from group B, position three, group C,
Okay.
and so on, so on. And then we're gonna play another uh, round robin in that group, which is gonna be another 3 weeks, and then the top 12 teams go through playoff with the top 4 going to so the top 4 has a bye week on playoffs, and the next 8 teams going to play quarterfinals. So it's a different, and the other thing is the top 4 they're going to play like a one round robin, I think best of ones between each of them, get a seeding, and when you get the seeding you're going to be able to choose which quarterfinal opponent you're going to face, right, or something like that. So
That's pretty neat. I actually like that. That's pretty cool.
yeah, so that's the format. So basically making playoffs means you guys have to be at least top 12. So I want you guys to be top 12.
That's the expectation or the goal, but as long as I think that like if I expect us to be like slightly rough the first couple weeks, but
I
like
expect you guys to grow into a top 12 team.
yeah, like I expect us to like struggle the first couple weeks, but then like improve and look really good by the end of this season.
I hope too, and let's see how that goes. You know, but I always say, even though it's gonna be rough in the beginning, uh, first week is really like the first 2 weeks are really important because
Dude, if we lost one more match, we won't have made playoffs.
yeah, it's gonna be rough.
Just because of our match record, I think against GSG.
Dude, let's not talk about GSG. How we got destroyed
Dude,
by them on every
GSG is our
single game.
kryptonite. I literally would rather face CBR again than GSG.
We played like what 3 scrims against them. We lost everything.
It was
So
2 scrims and 1 comp series.
we lost all 3 games and all 2-1. So let's not talk about them. All
Uh,
right. The next team in the list is Event Horizon Endor. This is a new team in the league, at
yeah, I
least
don't know.
new to me, unknown. So it's really hard for me to gauge them, like their strength. I would need to watch their games, see how they play, how like their
Their
style, what they
top
bring.
is new to top lane. If you pull up his match history, he's literally been playing nothing but top lane for like 10 days straight.
Yeah, he's an
He's
ADC
just
player.
spamming games for matchups. He's like trying to find out his pool looks like because he has like 4 games on like 15 different champs.
Yeah, I think he probably will struggle a little bit unless he plays like a tank duty, which might be easier. You know,
No,
just
he's been like just playing carries and split pushers.
yeah, I don't know because if he doesn't do
I,
well in those matchups, he just can't lose the game completely.
who's their mid lane in this team?
The
Emma.
mid is B
Okay.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's Emma, and then Wheezy, Rhino, Scythe,
Their
Prophet.
highest win rates are in Surfing and Lux, so looks like
Yeah.
traditional mage player.
Um, this is another one of those teams that's going to come down that how this jungler is going to play.
I
Because
mean,
like
this
this,
jungle plays like the stat stick jungle pool, I think.
Yeah, I think
yes,
Jungle's gonna take a
If
good.
you go most recent, they're playing like Maokai, Gragas, Sedge. There's like also some Nocturne, Echo, Graves. I guess they all have a well-rounded pool. I'm just not sure what the priority is for comp. I think Nocturne's pretty good in comp, but you have to play it with your team, right?
yeah, and then like their support, I believe, is also. I really am pulling this up because I almost said, "Oh, look, they are a jungler player," but let me make sure this is Zach jungle and not Zach
I
support.
think it's Zach Jungle.
It is Zach support.
What?
Yeah,
Oh,
Dude,
that's
Zach
an
actually no.
support?
Yeah, it's Zach
Wait,
support.
this
that's
is
some spicy
intensive
stuff.
research. Alright.
And Zach mid lane
Alright.
I played
or
Zach
Um,
top
Midlane
lane.
a few times. Like it's
Oh,
actually pretty
yeah.
strong.
I have yet
Wait,
to try Zach
support.
top.
So it
I don't
looks,
know.
yeah, it looks like
I really
Zach
don't
mid
know what to
top.
expect from this team. I'm expecting scaling ADCs, scaling mids. Their top is
No,
looking
these
to
are
try to be a
already.
carry player when they're new to the role, so that's a huge coin toss.
The rosters are already set based on how the people have um what's the word applied. So when they uploaded their like team information, they all the information is already put in from who's playing what role. So top lane to support.
That's exciting because you know these different picks makes a lot of difference, and because like I can guarantee like probably half of the league doesn't know how to play against Zach support because it's not like that common, right?
I
It's
mean,
You can have an
actually very
idea,
easy.
but
dude,
It's
Zach is hard to kill early game.
Zach is hard to kill early, but he becomes very useless if he can't do anything in lane.
but the thing
He
I
has
think,
no
I
golden come
mean,
but the
for him.
thing is, I don't
he
think.
always has a displacement CC.
But think
Yeah,
about this. Think about a different way. Think about not the lane, and think about okay, let me go follow my jungle for my first, second, third rotation, right? Or third back or whatever. Let me go mid because you know you have such powerful engage from so far away, outside from possible visions. You can go to different spots to gank, and have like a 3-man gank, mid or top, for example, right? So I think Zach might be less. And the thing is, he's also a good diver too. Like if you have the chance to set up a proper dive, you can get like a 4-man dive with Zach. and I would imagine it would be a lot smoother. Um,
Mhm.
so I think there's definitely issues, obviously, but if they're playing this often, they probably have a plan. They probably are practicing something, right? So I think just don't neglect the Zach. I think it can make a lot of impactful plays, and it can surprise a lot of people.
But I generally think
Jeez.
the game will be a bottom 5 team. Is my prediction
Yeah,
for
I'm
this
not
roster.
sure. I'm really
Like
not
it
sure.
looks like
There's a
they play
lot
like there's
about this team I
other than
just don't know.
the jungler, like they're the jungler. I think is the only one that consistently plays their role.
Yeah.
Everyone else, like even the ADC, like you have the top 3 champs played ADC, but then you have like Garen thrown in there, Warwick, Teemo. You have some Shen games. Like they do play a lot of ADC, and they have been as of late. But it looks like they also haven't just played ADC.
All right. So after Endor, we got Going Ghost. Going Ghost High. So this is a new team, but it does have some familiar faces, at least for myself. Merciful Crow is in there as a mid laner, and Kyugar. I do think we played Kyugar in a different league or in a scrim.
Yeah, Kilger's been around a lot. This is a lot of players I've seen around that are generally like top 4, top 5 in their role.
Yeah, so as a team, it's hard for me to have a gauge because I don't know how long they're playing together, but I think they have potential to be playoff contenders, but it's like a wait and see, in my opinion.
If they have a lot of individual strength, if they're able to get team cohesion into it, I expect them to be in semifinals.
I think this team's a top 6 team. I filled out 3 of my spots so far. Out of that,
He has like a post-it note with all the numbers he's already used.
yeah. I,
Uh,
I don't have that. I'm actually trying to go based off
Dude,
memory.
guess
I
how
don't
many
feel the team
games of
numbers.
Aatrox this guy played last split?
100.
Last season, I should say.
I mean, who wouldn't play Trucks last season?
Dude, Aatrox is the goat of the top lane.
It's... Aatrox
Not
was like
now.
hella busted last year, and
It's
this guy
bad.
had over 540 games on it and only
Damn.
had a 52% win rate.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's definitely hard to. I don't know. Like when you play that many games, I think it's hard, but to like keep um, a high win rate because the thing is, you probably were
He was
playing.
picker band strong last year. That's my
No,
point.
no, yes, but again, when you're just like playing one champion, you're like you don't care about anything on your team. You're just like picking that champion, right? So unless you're not changing your style, you're just picking that champion even in unfavored situations. Because you also have to think about, okay, from those 52% win rate on 500 games, how many games he was useless, how many games he was actually useful, or how many games they won because of him and stuff like that. It's hard. I think it's harder to get to gauge when there's that many things. But again, is not obviously it's not that impressive, right? Because he hasn't won much more than half of his games.
I will say, I expect this team to have the flexibility to play through either side of the map. Their top plays the decent amount of carry champs with high win rates. Is Olaf, Jackson, Cled with over 40 games, and his lowest win rate is on Olaf with 55%. That's with 70 games.
Yeah, I feel like out of this team, from your guys' perspective and your comments, I think their weakest point might be mid, because obviously I only played like a game against Merciful Crow, but it wasn't too impressive. I feel like, not saying he wasn't a solid lane or anything, but I feel like he could be abusable. Um,
Mm.
and if he is
Um,
abusable, then losing mid, it's kind of puts your team in a very difficult spot because it can impact a lot on your jungler. So if it's also going to depend a lot on what Wukong is going to do, because if he just counters and are able to, you know, put Merciful Crow ahead or keep him on an even spot or just like keeping pressure for their mid, then I think their weakness kind of goes away.
I think Merciful she is um I used to play with her like 2 years ago when I first started. But she's always been like a just kind of she's not like want to be like your hard carry mid lane. She's just kind of like there to be even and then play for team fights.
Yeah, I'm just saying this
Yeah.
because we played Zoe. I played against Zoe, and Zoe's like, if she doesn't get ahead in early game, she is quite
It's always
useless.
really unthreatening
Yeah, it's
behind or even.
like she needs to be ahead. She needs to be that because the thing is, she needs to get not only the pressure in mid, and she needs to play for in the fog of war, right? You can't really see her. She needs to use her extra Q range on terrain, one shot the AD carry out of nowhere, get a sleep
Yeah.
trouble bubble, whatever it's called. So
It is
Sleepy
a
bubble
trouble bubble.
trouble.
they need.
It is a trouble bubble.
I mean, it is a trouble bubble. But yeah. So going to the next team, we got PF Chang's. Now,
Hey, is it the same team from last
No,
split?
this
no,
is
no,
a
no, no.
really different team. I think they have the same support.
Yeah, so they had Spada and Rimhang. Um, those two were in I think, the regional PFE team enforcers.
Espada was playing ADC a lot of the split because they had a problem. I think it was Old Man
I
or something like
Yes,
that.
but I think he also started as a top laner because I remember at the very
And he
beginning.
also played some top last
Yeah,
split.
in the very beginning, I think he was top. He transitioned to AD carry because I think that's his position. I could be wrong. And then they
I'm pretty
swapped
sure he's
him.
the ADC top man.
Yeah. So
I have very low expectations for his team.
I think it's
I'm
really.
looking at their OP.GGs and like if you pull up their most played in ranked, almost all of them have like one champion with a positive win rate in like multiple years of like ranked play.
Yeah.
I don't see them making it to playoffs off of that.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be
But if
really
their team
hard.
play is really good, that they don't really need to be good at solo queue.
Mm.
But yeah, I feel like only time will tell how they are gonna do because I don't know. It is because I mean they have new players, right? So I don't know how good they are individually. Um, so there's that. What do you know any of these other guys, Arcs, like that you can add to us, like Lives on Drury
I
Lane,
don't know
has
any of these.
reboots?
I don't know any of these people.
Dude, where is CLP?
Uh,
Because CLP knows everybody. It
Dude,
feels like
yeah, I
CLP
know.
knows
he's been
everybody.
around for a while. He's actually involved in communities and like different leagues and whatnot.
Bro, I'm just referred to as the bench warmer.
Dude, that's
Sad.
crazy.
Maybe Zach should miss a game. Jeez.
All right. So after PF Chang's, I kind of like the name Chang's. We go to Purple Sprout. Now, this team, I
I like their logo.
I think they're high skill
Logo's
team.
clean.
I have like high expectations for them.
You have high expectations for a high school team.
What?
Well, if they don't do their homework, they're gonna get grounded.
Oh, that's not my problem. Like I think they're a good team and potentially a really strong team. They're gonna like they're one of the teams that is like a semifinal caliber team because they got Ecall, Kobita, and Dealey. They were also from last split Dorado Gaming Lambda team. Um, Gus Posey is the jungler that I was talking about earlier, where he's a washed-up
Mm-hmm.
player, and he was constantly between like mid to high plat, like plat two and stuff. So I think he's definitely gonna be a key player on this team, and just make things even stronger. The only thing that it's unsure to me is Aerocross because I don't know him, so I don't know how strong their bot's gonna be. But I just expect overall to be also a strong player.
This person has 4 games of Yumi and a 10.5 KDA.
Wow, that's
Very
truly
interactive gameplay.
exceptional. Really exceptional. Um, I'm like looking through their op.ggs, and I I don't know what their standout player is, to be honest with you. Um,
I'm gonna say it's a jungler.
you think it's a jungle
Wait, who?
I'm gonna go with a jungler.
with his 20 games on Maokai with a 43% win rate?
Oh yeah. I so it's really hard to dictate solo queue when you play tanks
Yeah, that's true.
because like to play solo queue and climb you need to play carry champions. For until you get to like high elo where then you can actually play tanks because tanks scale with elo. And so I mean he does play a lot of tank champions, so I mean maybe his teams are just bad when he plays Maokai, or maybe he's bad. I don't know. But I'm just like looking at the team like champions he plays, and it's gonna really fall on him to make those
Yeah, I
plays.
think his fool's good. I just playing jungle is hard unless you're playing carry stuff. Because if you play tank jungles in comp and you don't have a laner who's competent on carry oriented champs, you don't really have something to play for.
Yeah.
I mean,
Also, it does look like Kobita is um playing
their
mid.
ADC looks to be their best player.
Yeah, I
Like
think
looking at
Billy
their
is
ADC's
solid.
games on ranked for last year, they have a 55% win rate on or higher on 5 different ADCs with 10 or 20 games plus.
The only thing that I feel like might be a bit weird for them is the fact that Ecall is a main jungler and Kobita is a main support. And looking from what they're playing recently, they are actually playing those roles, so they're not like unless they're screaming, I guess they're not like you know practicing very often on those lanes. At least that's from my view.
Mm-hmm.
But they they're playing some custom games recently, so probably scrims or something. I don't know if it's like on a different actual league, but they're playing some different stuff out there. So just saying that. But I still think they're a strong team. No doubt, no doubts about that. So going after purple, we got one of the funniest names in the league,
Scooter angle.
Team Scooter Angle or TSA. we we got Hentai Onisan in the top lane.
Yeah,
Bro,
that's
tell
not.
me that. Wait, say that again.
Don't play into his fantasy. Come on, Kam.
No. Just one timer. And they got Star Lord in the as support.
Do you know anything about Star Lord? I feel like this name's too cool to not be known about.
Exactly. I mean,
Hey, just because he isn't Chris Pratt
uh,
doesn't mean
so I mean,
He has like 8 games from last year in ranked.
well, he's not much of a gamer,
He's allergic to ranks,
I
just like
guess.
Zach is.
But okay, so looking at this team, um, Hentai is actually he is
saying I'm
off
being
rolling.
forced.
He looks like he's a main support, but he does have a lot of games on bruisers and tank tops like Eloy, Sejuani,
He looks like
Akali.
he's played mid for a while.
Yeah,
He has like 40 or 50 games on Yone and Akali last split.
yeah, and
You're
I'm
saying split
thinking,
into the season.
yeah, he's at a lot of games, like what 350 or
I mean,
so.
there's quite a few like melee mids you can just play top lane. Akali's one of them.
I mean, it's definitely doable. And it looks like Sejuani is going to be a flex for this team because of Maya's Rock has played quite a number of it as well.
Yeah, this guy's played like 40 games of such top, I'm assuming. I don't know
Now,
why. It's
oh,
kind of bad.
actually, look at this. Look at this triple flex because less Haiti, unless if he's off jungling in Sejuani, he does have 20 games in Sejuani.
The
Yep.
Yeah.
it's got
Outside
a
of
lot of
his
games.
outside his 100 games on Syndra, that's definitely gonna be banned. Um, he hasn't played anything else, at least in solo queue. But I think this team's gonna be, fighting for playoffs probably. They seem to be like generally uh good players,
I
but
don't know
only
what mid's
playing.
gonna play if Cinder's gone.
Well, yeah, we'll have to see again how they play together and how they are individually. But I would definitely consider them to be a playoff team.
I'm not allowed to say anything about their champion pools because I play them Monday.
Yeah, oh yeah, you
But
guys
that
play on
means you.
Monday. Oh, so you have
I
to
thought
talk
Yeah.
you were
about
gonna
this
play.
thing. We're doing scouting right now.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm
this
being
is a
forced to do
pregame
scouting.
scouts.
You gotta know, you gotta bend that Syndra, man. You don't wanna give him that ninja.
Who do you guys play week 1 again?
I
I
have
haven't
not
checked.
Oh, you
looked at
play TD
the.
Oh no,
Kaizen.
TDK. Yes, yes. I actually want to talk about
Oh,
them in a
oh,
second.
I haven't opened that yet.
But yeah, man.
But we got
Good luck against Team Scooter.
Dude, how
And
does this guy have a 70% win rate on Vayne?
wait,
Vayne's a good champ if you have Yumi as your support.
yeah. I mean, Samir is pretty
Dude,
high
30
too.
games and a 70% win rate? That's kind of nuts.
I mean, it does put them on a good spot because if you can play Vayne that well with a variety of supports, it is pretty good. She still scales well and she's stronger early. It can be annoying to deal with.
I mean, I'm looking at the Vayne games though. Like the Vayne's not doing damage. Like these games are pretty.
Oh, you're saying he's getting carried. That's what you're saying.
Well, like there's some of them where he pops off, but like some of them, like there's an 11-2 game, and he does like the least amount of damage on his team.
All right.
So
So I'm gonna jump to the next team because actually we just played them. I wasn't there because I was subbing in, but we just played them.
call,
So I actually want to see it. I think it's gonna be good for
call.
you X, to talk about it, which is Syndicate.
Yeah, so we just did a stream against some, I think it was yesterday, and they're like, see who in Titans or something. I'm like, what? Because I wasn't watching the group draw during our scrim. So we had mid sub, and it was our first like official scrim with Dark. So it's kind of like playing with two new players for that scrim. It was really competitive, I would say.
Oh, this is
We probably should have won our first game against them, but we messed up our macro decision at the tail end of the game, so we just got punished for it. Their top's pretty good. I think we'll be able to like dominate a lot of the people in Titans. I think their jungle has shown a good understanding of setting up lanes and making the right map rotations. I'm not sure what else he'll be able to pull out. Their mid, I'm trying to remember exactly what he played. I think their mid can play both styles when it comes to like aggro melee mids and range mids. So I think they're going to be a well-rounded team, and I expect them to make playoffs.
Yeah, I actually went over the drafts that you guys posted yesterday for the games, and I looking generally and looking now today, based when I did this like a couple days ago, I do think this team has potential to be another like top. I wouldn't say top six teams. Uh, I think their team is gonna be surprising a lot of teams, a lot of other people. I think they're generally just good overall from what I could tell, and not only that, their I think their mid laner is probably gonna be the strongest point of their team. Looks like he has multiple champions that he's just doing pretty well. Yes, he doesn't have a lot of the games on it, but overall pretty good. Um, I expect top to have to pick up on something outside the Gwen because that's gonna be permaban.
He's proficient with more than just Gwen. You just can't really see on his op.gg. So
No,
I think
for
it'll help
sure.
him a lot in the first couple weeks.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that he's definitely not gonna get that comfort. So he's gonna surprise in other ways. Probably similar, I would say, for the jungler with more games on Zac. And also probably the Blitzcrank might be a champion that they're gonna be constantly be removed, and so they're just gonna have to, they will definitely surprise other teams with different stuff. But I do think this team's gonna be a pretty tough team to beat. What uh, what do you think about Arkz? What are your thoughts on it?
I let me scroll back over to this. That's not that thing. I think this team, based off watching else, like looking at the drafts from you guys, and then like looking at their GG here, I think they're a really good team. Um, I despise people who play Echo and are good at it because
Dude, that
it is
ult
the
is
most
so silly
annoying.
sometimes.
It is the most annoying champion to play against if they're like one of those champions where like if they're really good at it, it's just so annoying. But like, um, I am gonna be interested. I really hope I get to play this team. That'd be really fun.
I mean, you could scrim him.
That'd be fun. We'll ask. I mean, it depends on what the manager does, I guess.
All right, so
But
going to the next guys, we got Team Ambition Squirtle
squad,
Squad.
bro, they need a
Okay,
new
they went
logo.
for a nice and short name. I like it.
TAS, aka TAS. Now,
I'm upset. Wait,
this
what'd you say?
team, I think it is a strong team, but they are off-rolling a few people.
Yeah, their top looks really awful.
I forgot what
Their top has been playing exclusively jungle ADC. And then if you look deeper in match history, they have like games on Garen and Pantheon. Oh, it's like it.
yeah, I forgot what Adam and what's his name TLP said yesterday, but I believe CH. So I think outside the Zaya trick, he's off rolling. Burger, mid laner Joker, he's off rolling. Singular Bread, his I think support is his second role, and Darkness as well, off rolling. I don't think he's a main AD carry. I think he's main mid, and
That sounds right.
I think CHGM is the only one that's I think actually playing in role. But they did said he
Yeah,
did play other roles before, so it's gonna be interesting to see how well they're gonna combine together in
I mean,
different stuff.
Joker has games on Yasuo with an okay win rate. It's just really hard to make mid work if you only play melee mid, so really curious what else their mid would pull out. Maybe Tristana mid?
I mean, there's a
And
Kali. Viego, it's doable. Depending on the matchup. Mordekaiser. I mean, yes, it's melee, but and it yeah, I mean, it's melee, but I think it's doable.
No.
Because the other thing is, if you put him on the melee champion, you can potentially use some of that.
just throw in Sedge jungle.
No. What's it called? Put Dark Runes on a mage bot, since he's a mage player as well. Because he is originally a mid
Yeah,
laner,
it's
so
not a bad game plan actually. It's
it could surprise
just
a lot of people. So I could see that work.
it's tricky though because if you don't have like ADC, taking Baron and getting towers can be really difficult, and the other roles aren't that great at picking those types of champs. You
Oh,
can get away with some ADC mids like Tristana, Varus, but picking
also,
marksman top lane or in jungle just doesn't work as well.
what
Yeah.
so what I'm thinking these guys are gonna do is they're gonna have like probably the most diverse and weird drafts as we're gonna see in Titans.
Oh, that is mostly of the singular bread team drafts are pretty crazy.
And
That's what I'm
honestly,
expecting.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Vayne top coming from in main AD carry top.
Mhm.
That wouldn't be a bad thing.
I mean,
Uh,
theoretically, I think it's really tricky
It's
for a lot of
doable.
ADC mains to play top lane with success.
True. Trust.
Because
Struggle.
generally, if you pick something like Vayne bot lane, it's a huge difference from playing Vayne top.
But she's way stronger now, so
Yeah, she is way stronger, but there's just like top lane rules that you have to learn by messing up by playing range top.
but yeah, I just expect to see like some different and funny stuff coming out of these guys. Um, the other expectation that I don't know, like I put here, Singular Brad because he was a first team All Star for last split, but he was in the jungle. Now the question is how well he's gonna do in as a support. I think they do have potential to actually be a strong team, even with the scenario. So I still was expecting them to be a quarterfinalist caliber team. So we should be able to see them up there at the end of the split.
Mhm. I agree.
So now we have two more teams to go
Two
through.
more. Woo.
The next
This is
team,
only taking an hour and a half.
yeah. So it's TD Kazan. Um, now this team also is like a very unknown team, at least for me myself.
This
But
guy has 60 games with a 70% win rate for Mordekaiser, but he's silver 3. So I
yeah.
don't know how that translates.
So here's the thing. I was talking. Well, no, I wasn't talking, but I was listening to TLP yesterday. He did say this team is an IBS team, so they're like they
It looks
played
like
in
it, yeah.
Silver, Bronze, Iron League. I think they did well in the last league that they played. I don't remember exactly what league they talked about, if it was AGs or BOL, IBS or something
That's
like that.
BOL.
But this team apparently did well, and this is the very first split that they're going above IBS. So it's definitely gonna be a
And
challenge for them. So that's why I'm thinking they're not gonna be like there's
I
no high
don't.
expectation on them.
I can't see them doing too much. I mean, even if you're good in IBS, most of their team is gold 4 or silver.
Yeah, definitely it's
So
gonna
it's
be
going to be
hard.
difficult. They're going to be. I don't know if they have what it takes to punch up, you know?
No, I agree. I think they're
Huh.
gonna struggle. Um, but I think there is also potential for them to how should I say this? To surprise a few teams. So I don't think they're gonna go like oh and everything, but I think they may struggle a bit overall. But yes, I think this split for them is less about um doing crazy well, getting wins and stuff, and more about learning and
Progress.
getting like to feel like what's the
Yeah, they're
level of this
probably
team.
trying to develop as a
Yeah,
team.
exactly.
I will say great teams are made by, you know, doing your planned plays the exact same way, regardless of who you're facing. And I can't say whether or not they can replicate what was successful for them in IBS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh, Fun fact: Toxin owns IBS right now with TD teams.
Ooh.
I was looking
Nice.
through the IBS leagues and the BOL IBS season. There's 4 CB teams. Well, there's like 2 TD teams and like 4 CB teams sitting in IBS playoffs.
Nice, nice. But yeah, I don't think I have went through their exact PDG, at least not yet. But I'm not sure what to expect.
Yeah, I'm really not sure how like silver gold win rates at 60% translates into gold plat.
I
It
mean, they do
doesn't.
have some interesting stuff in terms of like I think they may have like a solid, maybe like for the champs they're picking, it's good. Like they have the mage, they have
I think they have the right pool for comp,
yeah,
which
like
is, one of the first battles you have when you have a team. I just, depending on how coordinated they are and how well they perform in lane, will really determine how
exactly.
far they can go.
Because I feel like I see them in a way very similar to how we're doing when we jump to like a plant league, right? Maybe some of
Yeah,
them.
like our performance in ZGG isn't great, but we're just trying to get better as
Yeah,
players.
exactly. And I feel like some of them may be well in the matchup, that they might do well in lane, but when they come together to fight, they could be doing well, like they could be fighting well together and using, taking advantage of their comp, which similar way to when we do when we take our wins. So like we're just taking advantage of how we take the fights well and how we play that well, even though we some of us might not do really well in lane at that level. So in a way, I kind of see them how we're doing, but I would be I expect more for them if they come back in the fall split, and I think they will definitely do better in the following split.
I'd like to see where they end up by the end of the split. I'm curious.
Yep. And now the last team to go over is Vride's Vampire Squids.
Yeah, I don't know what's with this name.
Very interesting name to say the least. And actually, this is a team that is on Solar Group with Big
Yeah,
Dogs. And again, this is unknown team for me. Dark Knight, Rinzen, Zermi,
this looks like
Halal Beef.
another IBS team.
But yeah, these
Their
guys,
entire team's silver or gold.
yeah, I was gonna say that they're very like low to mid gold to some people, with the exception of their jungler. But outside that, they are like they're looking like an IBS team, but I do think they could surprise if you don't pay attention. They could surprise you, but
I don't think their jungle plays jungle. That's really concerning.
yeah,
It looks like they're trying to play up and they're not even on their main roles.
yeah, it looks like they have two mid laners. And their support is looks like it's a
Their
main
mid looks
jungler.
like an ADC player.
Zermi, he has a good amount of games on mages and
Wait,
assassins.
wait, am I? I think I'm off.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
off center. Oh my god.
Halal Beef is their support, or sorry, their AD
Okay.
carry.
Yeah, never mind. Hold
But
on.
they got uh Cheong Selmo. He's a main jungler playing support. So gonna have to see how he's doing. Unless if this guy is doing
Sky, the jungle has the most played champ is Shyvana. I would like to see that in gold plat and see what happens. I'm curious. I think Shyvana's in a solid spot. Probably the best spot she's been in a while because of the Nashor's change, giving ability haste on top of her on hit damage.
oh,
So she can really shred objectives and she can, also burst people.
that's good. That's good.
I was gonna say, you seen Seraphim's been showing up more with Rod of Ages over Leandries.
That's weird. I haven't seen that build.
So what are your thoughts, Arks? Because you're facing this team.
Um,
Um,
They're an Ezreal connoisseur. I'm happy for him.
Oh yeah, he's a
Right.
main AD carry. So sorry, main Ezreal. This is your second round. You guys are playing this team on your second week.
Second week? Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. I'm looking forward to it. I like part of me wants to let Caitlyn through. I know Caitlyn's like hard meta. I see he plays it a lot, but like part of
I
me
feel
just
like
wants to do it to play
Caitlyn
him.
has been in a worse spot ever since she got nerfed.
She's still like pick or ban, like is she just because how dominant she is in lane with everything. Milio doesn't help. Um,
How strong do you think Emilio is right now?
Milio, I think, is going to be one of the pick ban ADC. I mean supports. If Yumi doesn't get fixed, Milio is going to replace it. The thing is with Milio, like if you pair Milio with Jinx, Caitlyn, Kog'Maw, their auto attack range with Milio's W is equivalent or slightly longer than rapid fire cannon range.
Oh,
That's disgusting.
have you seen that video where you have like 580 carries on the like
Well,
on the jungle
what?
hitting the tier 2 turret? There,
Yeah,
No, what?
yeah, that's what I'm
yeah,
talking about.
exactly.
Like I think Milio it can be really strong, but at the same time, like you have to know how to play Milio correctly for it to be strong. Like you can't just pick it up and be like, oh, I can play this. Like you have to be able to know how to play the champion.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna. He has an interesting kit on him for sure. He has like an inbuilt cleanse on his ult as well that makes engage even harder. Um, so yeah, it's gonna be a very difficult champion to deal with.
Another thing with Milio is you have to build cleanse. You have to build QSS on Milio
Yeah.
because you can't cleanse yourself. So you have to build QSS to be able to use your ult in those team fights where a Mumu goes in and hits everybody with an ult.
All right. So these are all the teams that we got in the league. So outside of that, um, there's one more thing here that I want to share. Where is this? Uh, yes. So basically, this is how the groups are turned out to be. Um, Group A, we got Taz or Team Ambition with Conduit Esports Coalition, EDNS, CP Peaches. Group B, we got Dorado Gaming Psy, Conduit Sports Fever, PF Changs, and Syndicate. Group C, Team Scooter, Ankle, Eclipsing Tide Solar, Cake Dogs Unleashed, and Rides Vampire Squids. Group D, Going Ghost Highs, Tropics Only Goats, TD Kazan, and us, Eclipsing Tides. Group E, we got Purple Sprouts, Event Horizon, Andor, Of the Za, Dynasty, Obsidian, and I think that's probably the most strongest group um, for the initial group for the first group phase.
You think Group E
Okay.
is the strongest?
The group E, yes.
I think
I was
that
gonna
Solar
say like
has
Group A.
I think Solar has a good chance of going 3-0.
Ooh, I like the bias.
No, I'm looking like it's like if I think
Yeah,
Scooter Ankle will be a good game. I think we will take it out from Vampire Squids, and I think Cape Dog will be close, but I think
I think Cape
they would
Dogs
all
might be
be
your hardest match.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
they
say
are.
too.
But I think like they'll all still be like it'll be still a close series. I think Scooter Ankle will probably be close still as well. So like, but I think it's like it's reasonable that Solar could pop out of that 3-0.
And honestly, if you guys go 3-0, that's gonna be a huge way on how the things go because this is the first group stage. We don't have the information about the second group stage, just like an example of how it might be. But
Yep.
basically, once you guys go out of this group stage, I think this is gonna impact a lot on how well you're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
And just to go real quick on these groups, the way I'm thinking is gonna be TAS and Snap and EDNS are the top two teams in my view, with Coalition being battling them for like a second spot. I like I think the difference between Group A and Group E is just that I think Group E you have the strongest teams, Purple Sprout and Dynasty, and I think you also have like a improved Optaza that is definitely gonna you know fight for wins there. And in
Yeah,
Group A,
Dynasty.
I don't know. I just feel like we still have to see from Coalition, but I think Fever is the stronger team out of the two. So I'll put Fever as a guaranteed top two on the team, with Syndicate coming right after them. Group C, I'll put Eclipsing Tide Solar and Cape Dogs, and the Going Ghost and us, Eclipsing Tide, as the top teams on these groups. But overall, I think it's going to be really hard to get a 3-0 team out of the first group stage. Um, I think we're probably gonna have like a really close series with Going Ghost. So outside that, I may see either Conduit or Syndicate going 3-0, but it's not gonna be like easy, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think both solar teams, I mean, ET teams will probably go 2-0 minimum. I think going Ghost will be difficult for us. I think Cape Dogs against Solar will be a relatively close match.
Mhm. Now, if you guys like had Solar, if we had Solar down with like Dynasty Obsidian and Purple Sprouts, I think we pop out of that group best 1-2.
Yeah, it definitely is hard, but like again, if getting 3-0 in the first group, I think is gonna be really important. Because whoever gets 3-0, I think you are like leaps away
If you're
from a
first seed,
playoff.
then you're only going to be against worse teams. And honestly, the more wins you can get early on in the split, the better, because you never know what hiccups you're going to have the
Exactly.
longer the split goes on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and remember, this is only 6 games in total, as far as it's being discussed so far, in the
Hmm.
Titans chat. So out of 20
What you mean,
teams,
6 games?
yeah. So 3 games for Group Stage 1, 3 games for the next group
You,
stage.
you mean like 3 series? Because I thought it was a
No,
best of
yeah,
three.
it's best of 3. I mean, like 3 games. That's 3 matches, not like just a best of one. 3 matches. Um, so at the end of the day, it's gonna be 6 series for 20 teams. So whoever gets the 3-0 first, I think you have greater potential to do well and guarantee your playoffs.
I
Because
think you're guaranteed playoffs if you win all 6 matches.
no, yeah, but I mean that's gonna be super hard if you win all the 6 matches. Like I'm thinking most teams might be 4-2, and I'm thinking there's gonna be a lot of 3-3s, and there's gonna be a lot of tiebreakers for teams that are 2-3, or sorry, 2-4, 3-3, 2-4, something like that. So there's gonna be a lot of tiebreakers, and I'm actually excited to see how that's gonna work. Um,
I think in the second, if it's like 3 best of 3s, I think three series, like 3 groups. I think the second set of 3 games will probably have a lot of 3-0s or a lot of 2-0s.
yeah, could be, but I
But it's
don't,
hard
I
to
don't
2-0
know.
because that means you need a good strategy or a really good read, probably on both sides of the map. And blue side and last split had like a 65% win rate
Yeah,
difference.
blue side were like a
Bro, blue
literally,
side is correct.
and the other thing is, I feel like when you go to the second group stage, the teams that goes into the second group stage with like fourth place, third place in the first group stage, they will probably try to do like, I don't want to say they're going to try to do more, but they're going to try to surprise more with maybe different picks, different way to approach the game, because they are already in a bad spot, and if they want to qualify, they need to get that win, right? So
Yeah.
I think it's going to be more difficult the second group stage than the first. So that's why
Hmm.
getting wins early is going to matter more at the end of the day.
For sure.
And just to show off here, this is the group stage standings, but also This is going to be impacting this, which is the overall standings. Aha! Overall standings, which is
Look at
this.
you.
Um,
Look at you go.
exactly.
Yeah.
So instead of being the 16 highlighted here, they're probably going to change it. It's going to be only 12 teams highlighted. So 1 through 12 going to qualify for playoffs. 1 through 4 is going to go directly to quarterfinals. And there's going to be a first round playoffs between 12 through 5th place. So it's going to be very interesting. And I hope you guys can make top 12. It would be really nice.
Like, if we sat down here for another 30 minutes, I think we could easily predict a reasonable top 10 teams, because like as I was like looking through the rosters, I'm like, man, there's like a couple teams in the middle. Like, I'd say Solar's like probably between 8 and like, I'll say 8 and 13th.
I mean, I can
probably.
give you what I think it's gonna be, right?
But like,
if we want to make like a prediction kind of thing, I will be down to do it. But again, I don't know. It's I think it's harder to predict like who's gonna win at the end, but at least the overall standings.
If
I
you
think
give
it's
me
doable.
2 weeks of information, I'll probably be able to predict where everyone's going.
I mean, but after 2 weeks, they're gonna have 2 games, and it's gonna be a lot easier. But
Exactly.
let's put this. Let's put this. Top 4. I think top 4, not in order, just top 4. I think it's us, Dynasty, Obsidian.
yeah,
Where are the? Where is it? Purple Sprouts and Fever. I think these are the top 4 teams. They're gonna be like looking to go to quarterfinals.
I feel like Going Ghost is fucking whack though. Like, if they're not top 4, I think they're number 5.
yeah, that or Eden's, I think, at that point.
I don't know if Eden's will be that high. Eden's barely. I think they were the 4th seed last split. I mean, they're better now.
But again, I'm not saying these guys are like leaps away from the guys below. I'm just saying I think these are going to be the top 4, right? Because five through 12, I actually 5 through 8, I think it's going to be a closer, and then 8 to 12, there's probably going to have like some gaps here and there because these are the teams that's going to be fighting most like between the low half of the table, if you think about it. So I'm thinking between, for example, 8 to 12, you're gonna have you guys, Solar there, maybe
Off to Za.
Sai, off the Za, maybe PS Chang's, you know, that's what I'm thinking is gonna be there. Maybe Coalition, and I think like Going Ghost has they're gonna be like between 5th and 8th, so they're probably gonna have that guaranteed playoff spot. But
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. And Syndicate, for example, I think these guys are gonna be there for sure.
true.
But yeah, that's just my view. Obviously, I could be wrong. So, um, so just to, I know we're almost 2 hours in. Just to finalize, just very very quick things here that I wanna share with you guys and everybody in the audience. Just give me 1 second so I can actually open.
Arkz, where do you think ET is going to be at the end of the split?
ET, like you guys, or ET Solar?
Yeah, because you already talked about where you think Solar's going to be.
I think that if you guys gel well with Dark and like you guys find your identity earlier than sooner, I think you guys are top 5. I think, I have to put Syndicate up there because based off like, I think Syndicate will fight for top 5, and then you have Purple Sprouts, freaking the other ones, Conduit, and then I think Dorado Sai is going to be up there as well. Like I know Cooper's a pretty good player at jungle. So
Wait, he's gonna play Cooper?
Dude, is Cooper the
Yeah,
Ornn top
Cooper's
player?
no Cooper is flower power.
There's one Cooper
Dorado.
that loves Ornn top.
I mean, I know Cooper is good, but I didn't know he was actually playing.
Yeah, he's playing as the jungler for Dorado Gaming.
Wait, oh, so that account is Cooper. That I didn't know.
Yeah, that's flower power. That's
Uh,
his main account right now. His alt account is still Anderson Cooper.
okay, so definitely
Dude, that's
changes
the Ornn
things.
top player.
He has no Ornn games this season.
All right, so here, that's what I wanted to show. Okay, so one of the things that I'm gonna try to do for this while we're covering the video split is I'm gonna try to create our own All Stars MVPs kind of stuff. So this is the MVP page. So basically, I'm gonna, first of all, we're gonna start with Division League, but eventually, hopefully, we can do it for others. But as this is a test to do it, the idea is to, and I'm gonna show you in a second. We're gonna create, at least I'm gonna create like a player standings. So on every series, gonna try to elect like a player of the game kind of thing. And obviously, as the weeks goes, the player of the games goes and goes. The ones that catch more player of the games, depending on how many they get, they're gonna be selected as the MVP of the split. Or if they're tied, then we can put up a vote or something. So the idea is to really engage these guys because I think when we create such thing, I want us people to think about the ETM VP award is like when they are then people know okay this guy is he's pretty amazing, right? So I want to have us
Yeah.
that kind of scenario. So we're gonna have one for MVP page. Uh, Let me see if I can show this. Yes, here's the right one for the All Stars. We're gonna have something similar. Um, and then the other one is this. Where is it? Ha. So Pog play of the game standing. So we're gonna, as people start playing the matches, we're gonna try to review them as many games as possible and just put in here, you know, what kind of and you're gonna have like position, the role, player name, the team, the match that they played, and their overall rank, just to get like an idea. And you're gonna create this scenario just like how they do in, for example, LCS, LCK, or whatever, and where they count, hey, this guy got like a 7, player of the game kind of thing, and try to approximate that scenario. So that's something that
So are you expecting these standings to be done by like ET staff
well,
or from the
I
players in leagues
no.
voting?
So I'm gonna start doing it because I'm gonna try to get this going. Now, obviously, if people want to help, if you want to join in, feel free to do so. If you want to cover a game or two, and if you want to add in your info, your whatever you have in mind, feel free to do so. If we get enough people engaged in chat and that wants to vote, by all means we can open that as well. Like I'm completely fine to do it, but at least initially, my plan is to get something going. So, for example, next week we can comment on just like an overview about how the games went. Who was the highlight of the game. Even if
Mm-hmm.
you have like a valiant effort, if you want to throw that in as well. But eventually, the goal that I want to do is do something very close from what we see when you go to like official broadcasts, um, where while you're talking about a game or you talk about a team, a match, even if it's like 5, 10, 15 minutes, we're gonna put in there like highlights of the game and keep those highlights there while you talk about, and so people can actually see how you play versus just like look at a piece of graph and like, okay, this guy must have done because he got a kill here, but that doesn't say okay how well your support did, how well your mid roam or your jungle or whatever. So I just want to be able to do that review as well, just to give like a more thorough idea of and show people that we're doing something that is really interesting, nice, and actually making sense. So it's our effort makes these values more, so people will value it more. You know what I mean? So that's the idea behind.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I want to share, and I want to thank you both of you.
Okay.
It's been a good 2 hours. I was not expecting. Oh
We
shit! It's
got a
actually gonna
follower. Holy shit!
follow.
Look at that.
Let's go.
666, so
Still got
godly.
666. Still godly. Thanks for the follow, man. This whole thing. I'm sorry, I talked a lot. My choice is actually giving up here, but
Oh boy.
thanks everybody who showed up.
Well,
We had I think we had an average like what 8 to 10 people. So that's awesome, dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
Pog pog.
I think this was relatively successful. We didn't hit too many bumps. We had to adjust audio levels. That's about it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Everything was pretty smooth.
Everything was made in house, very simple. But hopefully we can have more of these podcasts, and I'm gonna try to make it more regular on Friday, 8 p.m. And whoever wants to go, whoever wants to participate, just let me know. I'm gonna try to invite people to come in from different teams. Like
Yeah.
get people from whatever team, at least one guest to come in. So feel free whoever wants to join. It's gonna be nice. We get to just chill out, talk about shit, just enjoy. People have a laugh of our mistakes. It's gonna be really really nice. So
Can't
again,
wait for the top 10 arc fails of the season.
Dude, I can't wait to lose on some random tank top this season.
Or I can't wait to lose to a play and then I see it on TikTok when I open it.
you know what would be nice? If we had enough people, it would be nice to do like something like the top fader plays.
Yeah, I want to do
build
community in
ganks.
houses soon.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be good.
We have like 4.5 teams at this point. I think if we can just get some stray people who are interested in doing in houses, we could start building our community more.
Exactly.
Look, I
Um,
also have opened up the idea of doing Jackbox with people. And stuff like that since I own all of them.
Yeah, I think that will be a good event we could do.
for sure, for sure.
Jinlo wants to come, but he left the server, so
Exactly. Traitor.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you can find an invite.
Traitor. Oh, by the way, we just
Dude, there's a bot that gave an invite link. What the fuck is that?
yeah, man.
Yeah, I had him set it up.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I didn't know we could do
You
that.
can do if you do exclamation mark and commands, you're gonna get all the bot commands. And if you do exclamation Discord, you get the link. Part of the team. What are you talking about? You
Damn,
talking
Jinlo
about?
got timed out for 600 seconds.
It's because you've used the caps. If you use more than 6 caps, I think you got caught by the bot.
That's so funny.
Nightbot said, "You usually just bounce out of here after a message. What are you still doing here?"
Oh god. But yeah, man, I think it's gonna be nice. I'm really excited to see how this. I think the split is gonna be nice. I'm really excited for it. So, I'm gonna take a different approach. I'm already
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
sell you.
excited
I'm gonna take a
to
different
actually be
approach.
able to focus like on my individual play. I basically all of my development as a player for last split was like looking at matchups and build pass and playing weekly scrims.
Yeah, I was not even playing like thinking about like individual play. I was trying to be more consistent, keep CSing up and making sure like I keep eyes on the map and be able to follow up and play
Yeah,
team fighters
that was the
better.
other thing I did. I was like, all right, I'm gonna actually like look at my map for once.
Yeah, but
This is like the other thing I tried to focus on because
I'm
I was like, I can't work on individual play.
exactly. But recently, the past week, I've been playing specifically like trying to like improve on laning phase, and I want to see how well I can do once I mix those things. So
I went into solo queue with the intent of just dicking down every top laner I saw, and I like went wild one weekend, and then I had to finish up my move with my house, so I couldn't play ranked for like the past week.
But yeah, it was I mean, honestly, dude, I think this has such potential to finally build our community, and I'm just so glad that we got so many people involved. And I think this is gonna be just the beginning because even Sam's was doing he was posting earlier about what's happening tonight. So I think
Dude,
it's
Sams loves
great.
us.
I feel like sometimes he hates me because I say some dumb stuff to him on DMs.
Okay, me and Sams are besties. You and Sams,
Hey,
you're
it's nothing
rivals.
bad.
Dude,
Oh,
he's
Me and
going. I think
me and
is
Sam.
Sams ADC. I think he's ADC,
yeah.
right? He's gonna screw us over
By the
on
way,
CGG
okay,
sometime this split.
brand new news. Dorado just made a request to adding Deuce as a sub on their roster. So I think there's a
And who?
in Dust. I don't know how.
Oh, dude, I think Induce is really good.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna bump up their numbers, uh, quite significantly, depending on how things go. So I think they're gonna definitely improving their roster even more for week 1. So I think they're gonna come in stronger now. Um, so yeah, that's gonna again, it's gonna be really interesting. We're definitely gonna be trying to do the same for Solar for ourselves. Try to get more of the subs, out there, and because also we're gonna need like if there's any emergency, right? That's the biggest thing for
Yeah,
subs.
it's really tricky that we have two teams in the same league because we have to get our subs from other places. We use a lot of our subs to form these teams, and the rest of our teams are like higher ranked, so they can't really sub for us.
Yeah. So, but again, I think I liked that we have the two teams. I think there's gonna be a good competition. I would love, in a way, if we could face each other in a playoff match. That would be dope.
Yeah, but
It
if we
would be
face
dope.
each other in playoffs, we're knocking out our own team.
Exactly. There's also the downside. So it would have to be like a high level playoff, for example, a semifinals, a finals. That would be dope.
No, it
But
would be best for finals because then
the best
we
case
get to
scenario,
split the
yes.
money one way or
Exactly.
another.
Exactly.
But
True. We get the finals and semifinal money.
Exactly.
exactly.
But
We get all the money.
it's gonna be hard. So again, my expectation on Solar is just making playoffs. You guys gotta be in that 12 spot at least. So I'm thinking
Do you hear
prediction
that? If you
wise.
don't get to 12, we're disbanding. That's what we're doing.
No.
Back to the bench I go.
No. Not splitting. The one thing though is I think if you get three, like if you go 3-3, you have a good chance of making playoffs.
Probably.
It will depend a bit on your head-to-head records. That's going to be really important
Yeah.
in this scenario, I think. Um, but yeah, 3-3, I think is going to be the key or the record to go through. If you were 2-4, things might get dicey. 2-4 is going to be dicey.
Let's go 50-50. Easy.
All right. What
Oh.
else we got?
Nothing much. Just now at this point, just talking about stuff. Oh, I didn't change this. Oh, it didn't change. It didn't change, dude. Why it didn't change? My
Oh, if you
Uh-oh.
guys haven't grabbed it, you can get a new Prime Gaming capsule on Twitch.
dude, why is this?
Connected to your Amazon Prime account.
Yeah,
That was
I
brought
don't have Amazon Prime.
so
Why?
you can get your 350 LP and a skin.
350 LP, are you kidding?
That's what it gives you, yeah.
Oh,
And you
Like
get a
the
skin.
ranked league points?
change. Let me
Huh?
refresh.
You
No,
said
no.
LP.
Wait. Oh, I said LP. I meant
Oh no, it's just
fucking
fine.
OP.
Like, if they're just giving
Bro,
away
my
like
brain.
3 divisions worth of ranked points.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just real quick, I'll just talk about the in-houses we got our guys here real quick. So the whole idea of the in-house was to get the subs engaged and get a way to measure how everybody's doing on an individual level. So, for example, um, and this is how I say, like, I'm always using myself as an example because I don't want to be playing on a gold league forever, right? I love Titans. You know, Titans was amazing last split, and I think it's gonna be amazing. But I don't want to be playing on the Vina League forever. I do want to have a team playing forever, but not me playing on it forever. Eventually, I want to go to the Conquer League, and from the Conquer League, go to maybe their future Diamond Master League, and so on, so on, so on. Now, whether I'm gonna achieve that, I don't know. Maybe I won't because I suck at the game. But maybe someone will. So the idea is Arkz, X, whoever else is watching, whoever else is part of ET, if you guys are in a team and you guys want to get to that level, since we have those teams now, the in-house is supposed to be like, okay, your sub team plays a starting team, you start getting like wins, playing well, getting player of the game, stuff like that. Then at the end of the in-house, we're gonna take those points, uh, see if you reached a level where we can say, hey, I think this guy is playing outstanding. He's doing really well. He deserves a chance to be a starter. We can start implementing you as a starter and talking with the team about it and get you to be the starter. And the same thing goes from Arkz, you're playing the Go team, and then eventually you go to the Plat team, right? So that's the same idea. And from Plat to Diamond or whatever. So that's the whole idea. Of having those in houses, and that's the idea, right? So gonna keep an eye on all you guys, see how you guys do, see how you guys are playing solo queue, ranked or whatever. That's also gonna give you bonus points to achieve it. And at the end of the house, which is after what May 27th is gonna be the last round, then we're gonna start implementing and trying to see, okay, who's excelling on their team and who can go to this and to that place. So that's the whole idea of it. That's how I wanted to throw it out because some people were asking. I don't know if they're in the chat, but if they are, awesome. But yeah, I don't know if you guys wanna go, but again, thanks Arkz, thanks Axe for coming in. Thanks everybody from the chat.
I am so tired.
So just want to appreciate all of you.
I've basically been doing work-related stuff or been busy since 9 a.m. and it's 10 p.m. now. But a fun first podcast. I have no clue who we're gonna have next time. I guess. Yeah, maybe we can have some guy called Arkz. I don't know if you know him.
Just ask Toxin. He actually would love to be on it.
Toxin.
I don't know who that is, but if you
I
go into the
remember.
Discord,
TD, right?
Toxin is TD's. Yeah, TD's the person that runs it. He actually loves talking about this stuff. Like he goes like full in depth on like stats, everything.
Nice. I'll definitely invite him for the next week then.
Next week we'll probably just talk about.
Oh, it's gonna be great. You know what?
What?
Because we just played them
after the match.
Yes, we just played them, so it's gonna be nice.
Yeah. Just know that Toxin's on like a completely opposite time zone. He does not live in NA. He lives across the country, like across the world.
Wait, Europe?
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Dude, he's like complete opposite time zones.
We're talking about, what are we talking about? We're talking about
the complete opposite time zone is like Australia.
Dude, it's like Singapore.
He lives in like he's in like Asia,
New Zealand,
like Korea or something like that.
Because that's the craziest thing that I've ever lived. Because I worked from Singapore for a month, dude. I could not talk with my parents at all. Like when I was waking up, they were sleeping, and vice versa. It's crazy. Time difference is crazy, dude. But yeah, again, thanks again. I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm also gonna get some food.
We'll probably just cover in-houses, the Divinity stuff, go from there.
Yep. But definitely trying to get in the schedule, so you guys will see us here on Friday again. You guys will see us here probably tomorrow, and definitely on Monday. We're also probably gonna stream on Monday. One of our games, if we are not streamed on Titans, which I don't think we will, but there's a chance we might.
There's 2 chances now.
I think they actually, if I want to bet, they're gonna probably stream
Yeah, they're probably just CBR's not in though.
No, but I think there is so Off Design Dynasty is gonna be a good match to watch.
I feel like
Dorado.
you should just stream whoever who won it all or who came the close to winning it all.
Yeah, but I think like when it comes like our match is not that hot with TDKs in. And no, it's not like
You're talking shit right before we get
no,
him on stream
no,
next week.
it is not a disrespect. It's just like
It's just straight disrespect. You're like doing the Volbear dance while taking
no.
tower.
It's because they are better.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
you have Off Design Dynasty.
He's out here ringing the Alistar bell.
You have Conduit.
Fucking
You have Conduit and Team Ambition playing. You got Dorado Gaming and Conduit. These are bigger organizations than us, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's the truth. So they are better games to watch. But I think week 3 we play Going Ghost. That's our shot for stream on Titan. I think that's gonna be a hot game.
Dude, match is gonna be fucking stressful.
But
to actually perform.
There's also Purple Sprout and Dynasty Obsidian. So there's 2 good games to play in there.
Dude, I still haven't watched the group draw from Titans. I want to hear what they say about our teams.
I think it was standard stuff. You can watch.
They roasted me.
Yeah, I think they roasted Arkz. I'm sorry. I think they did.
They called me a bench warmer.
Yeah. and they were saying
that's
like
gonna be worth watching then.
They were saying like,
wow, I quit.
They were saying like Arkz, oh yeah, this guy Arkz who just like the bench player for multiple teams, they just pass him around. I'm like, bro, why did you do this so hard? But yeah,
I was only on 2 rosters. It was kind of weird. Like I was on TV Rangers and.
Dude, I already feel the effects of having 2 teams in one league because we tried to add Lechonk as our top sub, and they put in Solar.
They corrected though. I spoke with
Oh, they fixed it already?
Yeah. I spoke with Lonely, he fixed it. But yeah, I'm gonna get some food, probably feed a little bit in solo queue now. Which is
nice. Strelica, she just pulled me into a solo queue game.
Oh my god.
But yeah.
I hope you guys can manage to get your first win together.
We have a Nyla mid currently against a brand mid. So
nice.
Ooh.
Let you know how it goes.
Oh, Arkz, are you streaming?
You have Ivern jungle, or else
I will be later. Or I will be in a minute.
You're not streaming. I was gonna raid you, so.
Well, I can't until I leave here because I can't turn on my camera. True. But it's fine. You don't have to read it.
But yeah, so I'm just gonna end for now, and thanks again everybody for joining X and Arkz.
Thank you.
Much appreciated, and probably I'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
See ya.